All right, get in here, you beautiful bastions of freedom. We're about to talk to you about the New York Times. Got a little bit of a loose lip situation going on, telling the quiet part out loud, outing all the Democrat dirty secret, dirty laundry, and the thing that no one on the left is supposed to acknowledge. They're flat broke. Yeah, this is going to be a thing. You guys enjoy this episode because this article, this, as the intelligentsia, our betters, the political uppers say, this piece from the New York Times. My God, it's a kick in the proverbial nuts. I'm a little spicy in this episode, coming off of my Rhino episode I did about 2 hours ago. But you know what? We got a country to save. So get in here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. If you agree with the message, if you are down with saving the country from the likes of lefties and rhinos alike, this is the place to be, dispelling propaganda on the daily, 100% clickbait free, and with an added addition of sarcasm and a little bit of attempted humor. We'll see what happens. Let's get into this. People, we have got so much to do in so little time. And honest to God, it's worth every second of it because fighting to save this country from the likes of both sides is amazing. All right. You guys know how this works. The comments, the chats, the emojis, they make the world go round. I'm going to type it out real quick, and then we are going to be off to the races. No notifications, says Tech Fixer. No kidding. I can tell that from the attendance right now, as well as my other videos today. All right. Chats, comments, emojis make the world go around. All right. It is liked. It is pinned. It is up and running. All right, people, listen. So while we are revving this up and the notifications stumble out like a drunkard out of a bar at 2 a.m., basically, here's the responsibilities you guys have. Sit back, enjoy the show. I hope you enjoy the freedom we espouse. Like Johnny the Appleseed, only in a digital format. Of course, you guys have the responsibility of defending the chat's honor by being deputized and making sure that any of our loyal lefties come in, stay in line, and are corrected gently and politely, but still brought to the light side as we are constantly providing them an opportunity to turn against the dark. I just watched Star Wars, so it seemed fitting. And then on the other side of this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. You guys know that the notification bell is sitting in his mom's basement with Cheetos on his chest because he's watching reruns of Xena. No one likes him, but he's got to get a job. So let's do that. Thank you for your help. Let's get into this. I'm feeling the spice, y'all. Fair warning, this is amazing. This is one of my viewers. You guys follow me on X at Braden LOA, you might just end up on the live stream because someone posted this about an hour ago and I thought this was amazing. Don Thompson at Buckeye_57 says, a Democrat lied to get into office. Joe Rogan gif. Oh, it's amazing. You love to see it. All right, that was just a little plug to Don Thompson. Thank you for tagging. Thank you for getting involved on X. And you too can do that same thing at Braden LOA. Now let's get to the profanity warning. I gotta be honest, it's not gonna be my profanity. This is the video because I would only show it to you with profanity in it if it was worth every second of it. And it totally is because people are now driving past anti-ICE protesters and telling them to check themselves into mental institutions. Oh, God, you gotta love America, don't you? All right, all it takes apparently is a Taurus and a megaphone. All right, here we go. This is what is happening right this second. I'm gonna jump over to this. Again, there's some F-bombs. I'm sorry, I think I counted 4. But it's important to get to the point. Hit those likes, the comments, the emojis as you get in here. Let's get it.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! You guys are fucking retarded! Honestly, check yourself into the loony bin! Go to a mental institution, you need help! Therapy! Drugs, whatever it is, just figure it out! Figure it out, guys! Go home, guys! Go home, guys! Go home! Is that me we're talking about? We're talking about Leo! Oh, you fucking loser! It's pathetic! Your parents are failures!
I like the end. That end right there, that's golden. Your parents are failures. That's okay if Constable's in here. It is all good. We are going to have a great time regardless. But honest to goodness, if that doesn't make you smile, I don't know what does. Oh, I know what does. We're going to get right to the meat of this video. I'm just going to deliver it from on high right here. Because we are just going to spend a little bit of time talking about something that you're aware of for the past 2 to 3 weeks. Something that we've been talking about for the past 2 to 3 weeks. Apparently, the New York Times just discovered that the Democrats have no money. How's that for a graphic for you? Oh, don't worry. There's a full write-up. I've got highlight points upon highlight points upon highlight points. Look at this. Republicans versus Democrats fundraising. Oh, wow. The Team Blue is looking a little cold, a little shy. Maybe it's nervous. Team Red looks very full, looks dominant, masterful. I mean, I'm running out of adjectives. I mean, honest to goodness, that's pretty significant. But let's get into this, because this is coming from the New York Times. I'm not sure if you guys know, but New York Times, like, this is a situation. Like, New York Times is like one of their main places. Oh my God, look. I mean, you can see it right there. That's New York Times, right up there at the top. Republican cash edge threatens to swamp Democrats in the midterms. If I had pearls, I would clutch them. I was told, I'm sure you guys were told, that everything is over. It's a piece of cake. Oh my goodness gracious. The Republicans and the conservatives and the MAGAs and everyone, not a chance from on high at all, except New York Times is sounding a little bit of an alarm. It is weird. Donald Trump has 99 problems going into the midterms, one Democrat strategist just said, but money isn't one. Hey, you guys remember that thing that I said where in the last two elections, 94% of the politicians that had the most money, the most ad spend won? You remember that? I'm sure it's unrelated to what we're talking about. No, it isn't. All right, let's keep on going. I've got, seriously, look at that. Look at the girth there. That is girth. That's what we're going with. That is a healthy dose of funding. That is above 600 million, almost 700 million. Man, and the Democrats are cold. All right, as you can see, this is the dated February 10. So the New York Times just let the cat out of the bag today. Man, that is weird. That is weird. For the first time in years, Democrats are sounding the alarm about money problems. And you guys thought I was just making that up for the title. I don't clickbait, 100% clickbait free. Proud of it. I might get a tattoo of that one day. Like, that's a pretty important piece. But it's right there. Democrats are sounding the alarm about money problems. The Republican National Committee began this year with nearly $100 million more than the Democratic National Committee. President Trump is sitting atop a super PAC with more than $304 million, a, quote, huge sum for which there is no Democratic counterweight. For the loyal lefties, counterweight means if you have a lot of weight over here, you got to have an equal weight over here to balance it out, but they don't, so it looks like this. Just saying. All right, let's keep on going. I'm feeling spicy tonight. I'm going to be real. President Trump is sitting atop a super PAC. I said that already. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, has re-engaged with the Republican Party after his blow-up with Mr. Trump last year, donating tens of millions of dollars in the last 2 months and attending the recent wedding of a top Trump aide at Mar-a-Lago. And Democrats worry that well-funded super PACs tied to the cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence industries, which have cozied up to Mr. Trump, could further fuel a Republican financial edge. But I was told, guys, see how nothing's what they tell you? It's all manipulation, propaganda, and spin until they get down to the wire and they actually have to start sounding the alarm, because what's happening on this, and come here real quick, I'm going to tell you what's really fueling this. This is the skinny. The Democrats rode the wave for about 12 to 15 months, allowing the media to craft the narrative, all the political commentators on X to craft the narrative, the New York Times, CBS, CNN, Politico, all of them, that the Democrats were going to win. It was the easiest thing in the world. There was no chance that they were going to lose. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion. Obviously, the Democrats are going to win. They're going to win everything. In fact, I've even shown you clips and X posts where they're saying it's going to be like 390 to 117 representatives. I mean, like, they are so overly confident, it's ridiculous. But eventually, and this is the secret, every once in a while, you got to get to the point where you actually need to fundraise, because the smoke and the posturing that you're doing isn't actually fundraising. Because no one wants to donate to the far left wackos they're seeing on TV. It's great for X post and momentum and hurting Donald Trump's approval numbers, but it's really, really bad and doesn't translate to money. Weird. So then what you have to do after that is you have to start leaking things and having little articles that are dropped and pieces dropped in the New York Times about how actually serious the money situation really is. And they do the old Uno reverse. Then before you know it, California's got top 3 contenders, and 2 of them are Republicans and 1 of them Democrat, again, conflicting with the narrative. This is how it works. But anyway, let's get back to the piece that tells you something that no one knew, not like you and I talked about for the last 4 weeks. All right, let's keep going. Quote, this is for all my loyal lefties. Any Democrat who isn't concerned isn't serious, said Bradley Bachok, almost got in trouble, a co-founder of American Bridge, a Democratic donor network and super PAC. Yes, Democrats have momentum on our side and a wide opportunity gap, but we have a glaring disadvantage in overall money. There is one reason and one reason only they allow these types of articles to come out, and the reason why is because they need to get fundraising going. Because if they don't, they are beyond effed. Beyond. Because they just don't have any money. You can't buy ad spend, you can't run X campaigns. Kamala Harris depleted them so badly that they entered this year into $12 million in debt after burning through $2 billion. And they still got their butts handed to them. So the whole narrative that I've been trying to show you and dispel is right here in front of you, falling apart, disintegrating. But don't believe me. I mean, just believe the New York Times. They just came out with a new piece. Again, I'm going to keep on telling you all the truth, and I hope you send it out, because this is, honest to God, sourced in the description box. I'm not making this up. It's all right here. This is important stuff that no one's talking about. But dadgummit, aren't we going to talk about the two different shows that happened in the halftime of Super Bowl? I mean, my God. I'm getting a little edgy. All right. While individual Democratic candidates in some top races are far outpacing Republicans in fundraising, the main party operations tell a different story. Add in Mr. Trump's super PAC money, plus roughly $70 million he has scattered across other federal accounts, and Republicans began the year with an unheard of edge of more than $550 million. Again, look what the New York Times found. Oh my God, the great reporting. Good Lord. That would be a sharp reversal from 2024, when Vice President Kamala Harris' campaign and the DNC raised $2 billion, while Mr. Trump and the RNC brought in $1.2 billion. But some Democratic donors were dispirited after spending so much en route to defeat. Oh, no, not just defeat. Let me rub the salt in the wound. Complete and total destruction. You lost every single swing state. You lost the popular vote. You lost the House. You lost the Senate. And you lost the White House. And you lost the majority of Super PAC in the 2024 election. Future Forward went largely dormant. Dormant does still mean went to sleep and didn't do anything, right? Okay. In 2025, and entered this year with just $2.3 million. $600 million. $2.3 million. Methinks these are slightly different. Okay, let's keep on going. Again, one of my pet peeves on this planet, well, two things. One is rhinos. That's a whole different thing. Then the second thing is when they lie to the population and they expect you to believe it full hilt. Just take the entire thing, all the propaganda, all the BS right down the gullet, when I can literally show you they're lying. That's one of my pet peeves. Anyway, but the pending Supreme Court decision is widely expected to water down Democrats' years-long advantage in grassroots donations. Wait for this part. That is because under federal law, candidates can buy television ads at the cheapest rates, while super PACs often pay much more, sometimes 5 to 10. So, translate this out. What the SCOTUS is doing, they're about to say that you can't charge different rates for different clientele or different customers. So, what the political candidates can buy at a cheapest rate, the political action committees, the PACs, are about to be able to do the same thing at the cheapest rates. If you have a $550 million advantage on this side, and the rates can now be the same as candidate rates, which are lower, that's equivalent. If it's 5 to 10 times the rate, you just got 5 to 10 times the amount of spending power. Good luck. This is going to be a thing. All right, maybe there's more I can uncover in here. There is. I'm telling you. This is the New York Times literally standing on the hill, dinging a gong, just like, for the love of God, donate. We are so screwed. All right. The court case could open the floodgates for political parties to leverage big money donations to pay those cheaper rates for the first time. Senior Trump officials inside the RNC and beyond have been planning for months to take maximum advantage of potential new rules, according to 4 people involved in the efforts, by limiting expenses and hoarding cash to buy cheaper TV ads later. Do you understand what is happening right now? If you don't, let me break it down for you. You've got the Democrats spending all their money on a full-on propaganda campaign on all their X profiles, all their X talking heads, all the media, all the Democrats, all their ad spend. They're burning all their cash right now, the tiny amount that they have. The Republicans and the Trump-aligned individuals in the super PACs are just sitting there waiting and hoarding cash until the rules change when it gets 5 to 10 times cheaper, and then they're going to unleash holy hellfire. The Democrats are going to burn them, blow their wad early. Revolutionary term, not improper. And then the Republicans are going to be sitting on their powder dry when it's time to go. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen right here. You're seeing me do it. Mark it down. That's what they're doing. Look. New York Times is banging the gong. By limiting expenses and hoarding cash to buy cheaper TV ads later, this is going to be a thing. The DNC, in contrast, again, this is the New York Times. If you're just now getting in here, it's a really good time because this is a bulk load of the video that we're doing. The DNC, in contrast, took out $15 million loan last year and now has more debts than cash in the bank. Is this thing on? Let me read that sentence again. It is 8 months out of an election. The DNC, in contrast, took out $15 million loan last year and now has more debts than cash in the bank. I mean, I'm not a finance major, but I'm pretty sure that's bad. Some Democratic donors continue to be skeptical of party leadership. No. Including Ken Martin, the DNC chair, who is hosting a spring retreat for his top fundraisers next month in Park City. You see how this is going? They're not raising money. This part right here that I highlighted, they're skeptical of leadership. That's because leadership is not bringing in the money, which puts them at a net negative in assets. You are 8 months out of an election. Not even the magical Barack Obama is going to make up this difference. I mean, y'all, you're seeing something, but it's not what's really going on. You are seeing a whole lot of posturing and a whole lot of smoke and mirrors. It's all linked in the description. You can check me if you want. Speaker Mike Johnson said in a statement that House Republicans had entered the year with unprecedented resources and that we are just getting started because this is before all the fundraising that happens in an election year. Mr. Trump is planning to headline a fundraising dinner next month for House Republicans after one in 2025 raised $35.2 million. My God, just keep on throwing dirt on the carcass. Like, good Lord. Oh, you took another loan out, Democrat? Well, we just made $32 million in a night for the House. I mean, like, you understand, like, that's the contrast you're looking at. But don't worry, Bad Bunny and TPUSA, who was better? Good. Okay. Lauren French, a Senate Majority PAC spokeswoman, Majority PAC Political Action Committee spokeswoman, said that the group traditionally did more fundraising in an election year itself and that it had a strong start to 2026. She said that on Tuesday, the group would begin to reserve $24 million in television advertising in Maine alone. You know why that's important? Let me say it for the loyal lefties. Constable, I hope you are listening. The wonder boy with Nazi tattoos on his chest, Graham Plattner in Maine, is about to catch a broadside of $24 million of advertising against him, highlighting the death head tattoos of Nazism that he has on his chest, actually on his chest. This guy trained Antifa and he trained socialist in a military fashion. You really think that that's going to go well with $24 million? By all means, keep going with the far left progressive. I am here for it. All right, let's keep on trucking, guys. We literally, this article, I can't believe what they found. If only there had been someone else on the internet talking about this exact same thing. We got through the rest of it. That's the whole point. Y'all, I'm telling you, everything that you are being told is a manipulation, okay? Look at the graph right here, and you're telling me that 8 months, we have known about this, and we have been talking about this, and this is the pivotal point. Please, guys, hear this and understand it and share it. We have been talking about this since the special election in Virginia, okay? This has been a known thing since the special election in Virginia when they took out the $15 million loan, which put them in the net negative asset. They put them liability, which was bigger than the actual capital. So they became a net negative in that election. We've been talking about it since then. Do you think that the New York Times just magically stumbled upon this fact? There have been multiple articles written about it. I've done multiple videos on it. Do you think that it's just magic and happenstance that those videos that have gotten 100, 200, 300,000 views each of them, this was just now discovered by their super sleuths at the New York Times? No. And do you think they worded this article right here like this, the title, Republican Cash Edge Threatens to Swamp Democrats in the Midterms? If you know anything about anything with the New York Times or any of the mass media or any of the articles that they write, they only write the headlines. Very few people read the rest of the entire article. They communicate through these headlines. Republican Cash Edge threatens to swamp Democrats in the midterms. It doesn't say Democrats it doesn't say Republicans might edge out a maybe if then if. No, it's literally saying threatens to swamp Democrats in the midterms. Y'all, the division, and this is the big part. This is why I keep on trying to hit this, and please let me hear you in the comments on this, because this is very, very important. Everything that you've been seeing has been meant to dissuade you from voting, has meant to divide you on our side, has meant to make you think that the blue wave is inevitable, and all the weaknesses and all of the horrible exposed underbelly of Smog the Dragon flying over the lake that is the Democrat Party is right there and exposed. They have huge holes in their armor, and they're flying around like they're impervious. The whole point is to make you completely disparaged. Oh my God, I cannot I hate my life. And even Republicans and some of the conservative talking heads are saying it's bad too. So it must be bad if the Republicans are saying it and the Democrats are saying it. Y'all, I've said multiple times, and I'll be really real with you for a few seconds. The left is one battle. The rhinos and the people who are Johnny-come-lately with the conservative side of things is another one totally. Because they are completely ignoring all of these things, which have turned out to be completely correct, and all the sky is falling and the chicken littling has been incorrect. I've got the videos to prove it. You can go back and look at them. But this is the whole point. You're being pushed on both sides. It's a push. All right, let's keep on going. That was my break. We're just going to keep on trucking, because this part befuddles me beyond measure. Now, I've shown you how the Republicans have the tremendous edge, and the Donald Trump-controlled PACs have tremendous edge in the election coming up in 8 months. Again, 8 months. Pretty bad time for them to be $2 million underwater, or $4 million underwater, I'm just saying. This part is a different problem, because the rhinos that we have are looking out for their own self-interest. They're not looking out for their constituencies or with 85, 95% of the population. And I see the super chats I will get here in 1 second. Lisa Murkowski is the senator from Alaska. Okay, she is now the first Republican senator to reject passing the SAVE Act, which would require proof of citizenship to vote nationwide. You know something else that's in that bill that Lisa Murkowski wouldn't like a whole lot? It gets rid of ranked choice voting, which, if you're familiar with ranked choice voting, it is a lefty dream. It is a 100% anomaly, weird aspect of voting. It's a style of voting which ranks your first choice, and then ranks your second choice, then ranks your third choice, and it's a very weird system. Okay, that would be ruled out in this bill. Wouldn't you know it? She always gets elected by ranked choice voting. So when you go into these types of things, you see the underlying currents. It doesn't mean that we are screwed, and it doesn't mean that we are never going to win our country back and never save our country. What it means is we got some rhinos that we need to deal with politically. Okay, that doesn't mean that your conservative ideals or your direction or your ideas or saving the country or MAGA or whatever it is you identify yourself as politically, that doesn't mean that it's over and done and gone. What it means is we've got work to do. We got work to do on the macro. We're working on it. 2024 was a whole lot of fun kicking that in the butt. Then you got the micro work, which would be like primarying rhinos. Okay, now let's keep on trucking. We got some other stuff to talk about. I mean, honest goodness, we got things that do people to save, countries to save, as it were. And I hope you guys are enjoying the show. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell. It's not going to like itself, and I'd love you to join us. It's a grand old time. A lot of sarcasm. Sometimes there's some funny. Sometimes I goof. But you know what? We get there in the end. Even the most ardent warrior patriots in the Revolution made boo-boo sometimes. I mean, George Washington had wooden teeth. I mean, come on. Anyway, this is something that Anna Paulina Luna posted that I thought was really important. ID required: beer, prescriptions, renting a car, boarding a flight, buying cold medicine. Yeah, like Nasonex and Mucinex. Getting a piercing, donating blood, renting a hotel room, expressing your Second Amendment rights, which means buying one by a government-issued ID, and opening a bank account. But you know what? Those things are fine. Those are serious. Voting in American elections, those are not. That's such a minor thing. We don't need ID for that, but we definitely need ID for all those other things. All those other things aren't Jim Crow 2.0. All those other things right there are not going to prevent women from being able, or disenfranchised from doing any of those things when they get married, or even do really, really bad things to African Americans. But you know what? If we ask for an ID for voting, that would just be a bridge too far. The stupid writes itself. But anyway, let's keep on trucking. We got a few more things to talk about. And these right here are the senators that have co-sponsored, and I want to clarify something really quickly. The co-sponsor system is different than the actual voting system. This has not been brought up for a vote yet in the Senate. Okay, I said in my earlier video, we've got problems, we've got issues, we've got something to bring up with the rhinos. I was talking about the co-sponsor. See how it's in bold up there? 49 out of 53 GOP senators now co-sponsor the SAVE Act. That means they put their name on it to bring it to the floor. That doesn't mean there was a vote. The people who did not co-sponsor it are Collins, Murkowski, McConnell, and Thune, the two rhinos and the two leaders, which is befuddling to me. But that's not the final vote. I do want to clarify that. They're just saying we're not going to co-sponsor it, which probably leaves them more manipulation and viability and more campaign donations. I'm just guessing. But this part is something that I really wanted to highlight to show you what's going on here. And guys, thank you so much for the comments. I see you coming in here. Actually, I'm going to stop real quick and do the super chats because I don't want to leave you guys behind. I see you guys defending the chat's honor, and I appreciate it. All right, here we go. Man, notifications are struggling today. It turns on and off, man. Sometimes it's amazing. Like yesterday it was good, and then today it's all weird. All right. Concrete Lizard with a $5 super chat says, the Democrats are swamped. Yes, they are. Absolutely. Eddie Nixon, $20 super chat. In California, you have to show ID to prove age. A document such as utility bill to prove residency, firearm safety certificate, pass background check, wait 10 days to buy a firearm, but ID to vote is the non-starter. Hypocrites. Preach. Preach. I have said multiple times on this channel, you can let me know if you think in the comments over here, if you remember, I have said multiple times the most ardent and most effective warriors for our rights going forward, and the commentators and all the political activists are going to come from the 2A space. The good ones are going to come from the 2A space because they are under the boot more than any other. Like the 2A space in general, the Second Amendment community is under the boot more than any other special interest group. Any one of them. Because they get a little bit of hate from the rhinos, they get a little bit of hate from the GOP, and they get a little bit of hate from the left. Well, a lot of it left. But I'm telling you, they are versed, they know what's going on, and we get to go through all sorts of stuff together. But anyway, here's what the Federalist wrote about how rhinos are going to pee on our parade. Watch this. I'm going to scoot on down here to to the highlighted area. Now this is all available in the description box below. Of course, if you guys are new or you are the veterans, you veterans know that everything is linked in the description box below. You can clip this video, you can share this video, you can do whatever you want with it. The information is free that I'm providing for you. And of course, you can make your own little mix up and do whatever you want. Any platform. It's cool. Tag me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, I'm on YouTube. Just tag me, whatever. It's cool. If it's good, I'll redo it or resend it. The problem, according to congressional sources, is that some Senate Republicans don't want to put themselves and their colleagues on the other side of the aisle through the Democrats' expected extended temper tantrum. I don't care. Let them cry. Let them put IV bags on little IV bag stands so they don't have to stand up. Let's get them catheters so they can pee into a bucket while they stand there. Let's have McDonald's delivered in mass, and I'm fine with that. We'll bring some formaldehyde for half of the staff of the Senate, which is 89,000 years old, but they're going to talk the whole time. I don't care about an extended temper tantrum. Let them wind themselves out. Just like a fire, it will eventually burn its own oxygen out. Anyway, that's a stupid reason. Let's keep on going. Johnson said some of his party believe the potential hundreds of hours of Senate debate would squander precious time for other pressing business, a point the Democrats' party's marketing team and corporate media will dutifully hammer every day of said debate. They're going to do that anyway. What? This is the stupidest reasoning ever. Well, the filibuster's still in place. So if we don't want to sit there and deal with hundreds of hours of never-ending debate and not get anything done, we're going to not do the thing that everyone in the United States wants, and then we're still going to not get anything done because the filibuster's still in place and they're still going to block you. It is the most idiotic logic reasoning ever. Even John Fetterman is down with this. Okay, let's keep going. Where was I? Ah, yes. They think how difficult it is going to be and how much we can be assured of success, the Wisconsin Republican said. They think if we take our floor time for this, we won't be able to pass X, Y, and Z. But we're not going to pass X, Y, and Z anyway. So let's focus on something we can pass, something that's worthy of passing. Yes. The Republican from Wisconsin gets it. Why is this hard? Why do we have weak, spineless little Congress critters who enjoy their plush Senate jobs and their careers and all of their benefits and attention more than the needs of the country? Well, I don't want my Democrat colleagues, my friends on the Democrat side of the aisle, I don't want them to have a temper tantrum for hundreds of hours. I don't care. Let them. We'll order food. You want pizzas? You want some drinks spiked with X-Lax? It'll be great. Because honestly, at this point, that's weak sauce. Let's continue. Senate Democrats have grown quite fond of the filibuster, which is funny because under the Biden administration, it was the bane of all existence, and Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin were Satan's spawn incarnate because they didn't get rid of the filibuster. But now that it's on the other side of the foot, it's the greatest thing on the planet. If you remember that, let me know in the chat. Senate Democrats have grown quite fond of the filibuster. In the first three plus months of President Trump's second term, Democrats employed the silent killer several times, including listen to this, filibusters to strangle a bill barring men pretending to be women from competing in women's sports, and the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, which would have required medical care for babies born after botched abortions. Someone explain that to me. Yeah, sure, we're going to try to do abortions, but if somehow the baby survives, I don't want to have to render medical care and aid to it. God, can we get the filibuster over here, please? Yeah, if there was ever a question of what side you're on, that was a pretty good statement. Last week, Majority Leader John Thune reportedly said there was nothing decided on changing the rules to require a talking filibuster, a proposal the South Dakota Republican said some of his Senate colleagues are interested in. Yeah, they're all interested in it. But here's the dirty little secret. These Congress critters are absolute creatures of habit. They like things the way they are. They like the one side has the offense, one side has the defense, then it switches, then they switch parties, and one side gets to be the opposition, and one guy gets to be the hero. This is the way that it works. But they don't like changing things because then that would change the dynamic, and then they don't have the power. It really is a fatal flaw in humanity. It's weird. But anyway, let's go on to this next one. Guys, this next part is something that I'm going to have to explain a little bit for you. Temporary protective status. We're just on a rip right now. No breaks. We're just going to get this done. All right, guys. If you're enjoying the content, let me hear you in the chat. The comments need to be on fire because notification bell has not gotten off his butt. We are a extremely lower number simply because notifications aren't going out yet again. Been saying it all day. And then, of course, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. All right. Here we go. Secretary Kristi Noem. The temporary protected status right here. You have to understand what this is. Temporary protected status is something that allows immigrants to come into the country and stay because the nation of which they came from, due to internal strife, is considered a TPS organization or body or state or country. Okay? Temporary protected status basically means there's a hot spot in that country, so anybody coming from that country gets a green light per the Secretary of Homeland Security. That's what it means. Kristi Noem came in and said, yeah, not for that one, not for that one, not for that one, not for that one, pound sand. And then they took her to court, and they just got smoked. It turns out that the Department of Homeland Security can tell and designate whatever country they want has no issues, and temporary protected status has to be removed. The reason that that's important is because now all the people who are in the country illegally underneath temporary protected status, which is what the Biden administration abused through the autopin, through all the aids, and the wokapalooza that way it was, now they have to go back. They don't have that temporary protected status, hence the word temporary. That's your backstory. Here's the ruling that a judge just dropped, which again, I don't know if you actually heard this, but did you hear that the Bad Bunny versus the TPUSA halftime show, who saw more? Oh no, man, it's like, guys, we got to worry about some important things. Please, come on. All right, here we go. Oh, let's see. A win for the rule of law and vindication for the U.S. Constitution. That's the Constitution. That's weird. Under the previous administration, temporary protected status was abused to allow violent terrorists, criminals, and national security threats into our nation. Temporary protected status was never designed to be permanent, yet previous administrations have used it as the de facto amnesty program for decades. Given the improved situation in each of these countries, we are wisely concluding that it was intended to be a temporary designation. So she removed from 2 different countries. I'm going to read for you the court document where the left just got stuffed in their faces again, but again, for some reason, it doesn't seem to be circulating. Here's the information. As you can see, filed at the very top, just for the record, February 9, 2026. That was yesterday. Everything is linked in the description box below, always. Here we go. The National TP Alliance, or the plaintiffs, versus Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security. So these people sued him. Shocker among shocks. Here we go. On December 31st, 2025, the district court entered partial final judgment under federal rule civil, that doesn't matter, vacating the Secretary of Homeland Security's termination of temporary protected status. So the district court said, you can't get rid of and do what your executive branch responsibilities are. We're going to tell you you can't do it. We're going to issue an injunction. Again, this is where the 2A warriors and the Second Amendment advocates come in, because we are extremely versed in this right here. Okay? This is the court system lawfare that they always do to us, and we are very, very good at it and very adept at it. Let's continue. So it's for Nepal, Honduras, and Nicaragua. The government has appealed and moved for a stay pending appeal. We grant the requested stay of the district court's vacature order. The statute, the temporary protected status statute, again, I'm going to show you what they're trying to get them to stop and how they got literally stuffed in their faces, permits the Secretary of Homeland Security to designate a foreign state for TPS, temporary protected service, when nationals of that state cannot return there safely due to armed conflict, natural disasters, or other extraordinary or temporary conditions. That's the right of the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem in this case, okay? TPS holders are eligible for work authorization and protection from removal while their home country remains designated. Who designates it? Kristi Noem designates it. I'm going to do a whole video on this too. Don't worry. If you're not following, I'll do a dedicated video for this. Periodically, the Secretary shall review the conditions in the foreign state for which a designation is in effect and shall determine whether the conditions for such designation continue to be met. Yeah, temporary protective status issued. Is the war still going on? No. Temporary protective status removed. That's all. It's that simple. Okay, let's keep on going. If the Secretary finds that the conditions are no longer met, she shall terminate the designation by publishing notice in the Federal Register of the determination. Again, the Second Amendment warriors in the chat, let me hear you. The Federal Register, does that sound familiar? That's where they put all the gun control rules in under the Obama administration and the Biden administration. It's also where they put in all goodness gracious, I just said it. Executive rules. Yeah, the rulemaking process. Yeah, executive rules. The rulemaking process for the Trump administration too, the pro stuff. That's where they all do it, the Federal Register. So all of this stuff goes in and becomes actually part of the governmental record. This is not just a whim. This is a whole process. They sued them and said, you can't do that, even though it's clearly stated in your charter, in your responsibility. Well, the court just said, yeah, that district court is idiotic. You can't, that is completely removed. They can remove whatever they want. But again, no one's talking about this because we got to talk about halftime shows. All right, that really chews my butt. I'm sorry. It's just, you're talking about you're rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, in my opinion. This case involves TPS designations for Nepal because of an earthquake. Honduras and Nicaragua initially designated in 1999 because of because of a hurricane not even in this century. The temporary protected status has been for Nicaragua and Honduras for 27 years. It was a hurricane. I live in Florida. We had 3 hurricanes the year before last. We aren't in temporary protected status. In fact, the whole thing was done and cleaned up and we solved the problem in about a week and a half. 1999. Tell me that doesn't reek of bureaucracy. Man, I'm just on a rip. I should have put my jacket on. I thought I was going to need it, but I'll just rip it. All right, let's keep on going. In 2025, the Secretary terminated the TPS designation for all 3 countries, which is what she just did, which is when they sued them. In this class action, plaintiffs asserted statutory and constitutional challenges to those termination decisions. Okay. The district court determined that the decisions violated the Administrative Procedure Act. Hey, knock knock, Second Amendment warriors, sound familiar? Administrative Procedure Act? The APA? Any of this sound familiar? This is why we blend on this channel the Second Amendment advocacy, historical background, and all of those pieces with dedicated channels and all sorts of other channels that are all still covering the exact same stuff, blending together with the current fights that we're seeing in other areas. It's the same fight. They do the same thing to us no matter what. This is why it's so important to know these terms. District courts, appeals courts, APA, vacature of injunctions, injunction requests, extraordinary relief, all of these things. All right, let's keep on trucking. Whew. And it entered a final judgment vacating the terminations. The government has appealed and now seeks a stay pending appeal. It is granted. I can't highlight it, damn it. We grant the request of the stay of the district court's vacature order. Do you know what that means if you're not involved in this fight regularly? It means that Secretary Kristi Noem just kicked the crap out of the people that are suing them. The federal court overruled an earlier court, and now she can do everything that she wants to do. She's perfectly within her realm of authority and power. This is what's happening while we're talking about really, really dumb things in other areas. I'm not about the Super Bowl thing, just in general. It's just all very surface level, high level stuff. And I'm like, y'all, please, for the love of God, please. But that's what we've got, guys. And I know that video was a little spicier than I usually do. I'm going to be honest with you. It's the frustration. I am human. It does come out sometimes, but I hope it does not taint the incredible intentions of delivery that I have for this channel for every single episode. I aim for perfect. Don't ever get there, but I sure try. And I hope you guys are enjoying every single effort that I put forward. I love each and every one of you guys, just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. And for those people who are about to put in the chat, you can be uncomfortable too. It's okay. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I hope you find this helpful. And I will see you tomorrow morning when we are back on the Freedom Train. See you then.